We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about progress and prosperity for our community.
Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sake and our own.
Surrounded by symbols.
Awakened by the deep misery of people
was a she who purposely collided with the issues faced by society.
Jane Addams. Jane Addams was an American settlement activist, reformer, sociologist, philosopher, and author.
Addams was one of the founders of the first settlement house in North America, an officer in the National American Women's Suffrage Association.
But she was once, like us, a child.
Addams was born on September 6, 1860 in Cedarville, Illinois. She was the daughter of John Hoy Addams and Sarah Weber.
She grew up with privilege. Her father was among the town's wealthiest citizens.
When she was 4, she contracted tuberculosis of the spine, known as Pott's disease, which caused the curvature in her spine.
Jane enrolled at the prestigious Rockford Female Seminary at 17. The school's curriculum was deeply shaped by Christianity and encouraged women to pursue religious and missionary work. She was driven to the idea of doing work that served those in need.
In her first year at Rockford, she formed a friendship with fellow student Ellen Gates Starr. Their friendship would be one of the most important events of Jane's life as a reformer.
Jane graduated in 1881. For most women, postgraduate life meant marriage and family. Jane, however, wanted something else.
Suddenly, she was lost. Lost after the death of her beloved father due to a ruptured appendix.
Failure in every sense was the thought that clouded her mind as she struggled to find a purpose.
In 1887, Ellen urged Addams to visit Europe, where they discovered Toynbee Hall in London, a settlement house in the impoverished East End, offering vast healthcare, education, and charitable services. The work appeared to make a difference.
Once back in the U.S., Jane and Ellen aimed to establish a settlement house in Chicago. Immigrants and their children made up nearly 80% of the city's population, and many of them faced the struggles of urban crowding and industrialization.
The two women moved into the second floor of an old mansion in the poor immigrant Chicago neighborhood, persuading wealthy families across the city to donate money to transform the space into a settlement house. They named it Hull House, after the building's original owner, Charles Hull.
Hull House offered vast services from recreational activities, English classes, hygiene classes, vocational training, clubs for young men and women, space for political and labor organizing, you name it. By the late 1890s, it served over 10,000 people weekly. Addams' well-known accomplishment was Hull House. As she took the less fortunate under her wing, she enlightened them, and with that, she fought and advocated for all within and outside her scope. She educated, and now it's her time to fight and raise her voice.
Addams also served as president of the National Conference of Charities and Corrections from 1909 to 1915, the first woman to hold that title, and became active in the women's suffrage movement as an officer in the National American Women's Suffrage Association and pro-suffrage columnist. She was also among the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. In 1915, she headed the Women's Peace Party and became the International Congress of Women president shortly thereafter. Addams wrote articles and gave speeches worldwide promoting peace. She helped found the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom.
1919, serving as its president until 1929 and honorary president until later years, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts in 1931, the first American woman to receive the award. She also wrote a book about her work at Hull House and other books promoting peace. A heart attack, however, in 1926 took a toll on her health, and though she pushed on, she never fully recovered.
Addams died on May 21, 1935. Her work brought about progress during her time, and she immensely contributed to the era of progress as there was a shift in day-to-day life.
In today's time, it is recognized that women play an integral role in society. However, the fight for gender equality is not ended, and the advocacies for the recognition of all genders are still ongoing. However, it has come a long way.
As students and women living in this generation, without her will and determination, it would have been different. She was one of the women who sat at the table to fight for what she knew was fair.
She was a star that purposely collided with the issues faced by society for us.